It was the news no one wanted. Sources all but confirmed a deal for the super middleweight champion Canelo Alvarez to fight Jake Paul this Cinco de Mayo weekend in Las Vegas. But an 11th hour audible has seen Canelo sign a 4-fight contract with Riyadh season instead. Turki Al-Sheikh, chairman of Saudi Arabia's General Entertainment Authority, announced the deal on Thursday, which scrapped the Canelo vs. Paul Netflix megafight in an instant. Instead, Canelo will fight in Riyadh for the first time in his career. In response, Jake Paul's company, Most Valuable Promotions, quickly criticized Alvarez's decision, with Paul himself voicing his disappointment, and the problem child didn't hold back.
Oh, Canelo, you
This YouTuber. I just fight real fighters.
Time to expose them. So we had a signed contract to fight. Here you can see Canelo's signature and my signature to the right, claiming he's not fighting YouTubers. Bull. Look at the poster. We were announcing Tuesday, February 11th, claiming he fights real fighters, but he's fighting Crawford, a 135-pound fighter, and running from a real fighter like David Benavidez, you. The truth is, you can be bought. You're a money-hungry squirrel chasing your next nut. The truth is, these sports-washing, shady characters are paying you hundreds of millions of dollars to stop our fight from happening because they couldn't fathom the fact that they can't create a bigger fight than me and you. Al Heyman has made you hundreds of millions of dollars, and you turned your back on him for this check. Disloyal. And you were begging to do this fight on pay-per-view. But I have loyalty. Loyalty to Netflix, doing the biggest numbers. And you call me a YouTuber, but you've never had a boxing match as big as mine. Remember you told my team that your daughter came home and asked if you were fighting Jake Paul? She was all excited. You said that was the first time your daughter's ever asked you about a fight. And you're screwing over all your Mexican fans by doing your fights in Saudi. It just shows what type of person you are. And I promise you one thing, Canelo. Any fight that you do this year, mine will be bigger. So go off to your boss, you Ring Magazine employee, you pink and orange. And oh, fix that herpes on your lip, you dirty.
While there have been no formal announcements of who Canelo will face in the first fight of his new contract, the rumored frontrunner is former middleweight champion Jermall Charlo. Canelo previously defeated Jermall's twin brother Jermell, which they'll use to sell a revenge storyline. Except Canelo's dominant win over Jermell guarantees that the fight won't make a fraction of what a Paul fight would have made. The good news is that whoever he faces in May will serve as a tune-up before his much-anticipated September Las Vegas megafight with Terence Crawford. Crawford, 37, scored a career-defining 9th-round TKO of Errol Spence Jr. at welterweight in 2023, before winning his one and only fight at junior middleweight in 2024, still 2 divisions below Canelo. With Alvarez's 2025 fight schedule now taking shape, his third fight could be a February 2026 rematch with the former light heavyweight champ Dimitri Bivol, who beat him back in 2022. That will depend on Bivol's impending rematch with Artur Beterbiev for the undisputed light heavyweight title. Another potential opponent could be middleweight contender Chris Eubank Jr. While the Brit doesn't have a belt, he would serve as a tune-up for the 4th and final fight of Canelo's new contract. And this is where Paul could once again enter the mix. It would depend on how negotiations between him, Turki Al-Sheikh and Netflix come along, but Paul certainly does seem like he's still keen.
Canelo, I'm coming, my.
In heavyweight action, Derek Del Boy Chisora dropped Otto Wallin twice to secure a unanimous decision win in his 49th pro fight. The bout was billed as his last dance, but he's going to have at least one more because the win made him the mandatory challenger for the IBF title. Chisora now looks ahead to the IBF champion Daniel Dubois' upcoming February defense against the former WBO champ Joseph Parker. As the IBF's mandatory challenger, Chisora may fight the winner for the title in his 50th professional fight. Losing 4 of his last 8 outings has many wondering yet again about the IBF's bizarro ranking system. but the entertainment value of Chisora's late career comebacks is undeniable. In other heavyweight news, Queensberry Promotions has announced a major British boxing card with Dillian Whyte returning to face Joe Joyce in the main event. That's set for this April 5th. Whyte, a one-time title contender who is coming off a December win, returns to England for the first time since 2022. The Olympic silver medalist Joyce is looking to bounce back from a tough stretch after having just one win from his last 4 fights. Joyce already has a fight lined up for this March, meaning he faces a quick turnaround ahead of this highly anticipated matchup. And to the amateurs, where the International Boxing Association has announced plans to file criminal complaints against the International Olympic Committee, citing a recent ruling by President Donald Trump to ban transgender athletes from women's sports. This legal action is the latest chapter in the long-standing feud between the IBA and the IOC, who took control of Olympic boxing events following the IBA's ongoing issues with governance, finance, judging, and corruption. The IBA's most recent attack is once again over the inclusion of transgender women in boxing. Specifically, the IBA is attacking the Swiss-based IOC for allowing the female boxers Imane Khalif and Yu-ting to compete and win gold medals in Paris last year. According to the Swiss law, any action or inaction that poses a safety risk to competition participants warrants investigation and may serve as grounds for criminal prosecution. President Trump's order to ban transgender athletes from women's sport validates IBA's efforts to protect the integrity of female sports. Within days of taking office, Trump signed an executive order entitled Keeping Men Out of Women's Sports, which aims to ban transgender athletes from participating against girls and women. With the 2028 Summer Games being held in Los Angeles, and with the other major Olympic disciplines, including track and field, swimming and cycling, already excluding athletes who went through male puberty from competing in women's events, and with Trump's well-publicized lifelong involvement in fight sports, the boxing controversy is almost destined to escalate before it goes away.
Thanks for watching, and remember, if you want more fight sports in your life, just hit the subscribe button.